Hello and welcome to the Lovetarian Way podcast. Today is episode 2 and we have a fabulous guest with us here, Tamsin German.
Hi.
Yes, and Cecile, my beautiful assistant and co-creatrix of the Lovetarian Way movement. We will talk to you today about power of natural healing, about crystals, about tarot, about Mother Earth energies, and how we could tap into our inner power, the love and the light within us, and the force of Mother Nature to help us balance our energies in those, shall we say, girls, turbulent times?
Very turbulent.
Yes,
times.
that's right. Would you like to introduce our guest, Cecile?
Yes, our beautiful Tamsin is a natural healer. Done multiple courses in Reiki, emotional, code healing, crystal healing, Wiccan, many more actually. And Tamsin wrote 2 books. Yes, if you show them, would lovely. Heal Your Chakras, Heal Your Life. That's the first. And the second is Crystal Magic. Actually, Tamsin is writing her 3rd book as we speak. Crystal Magic, if I'm correct, Ritual. Yes.
Would you like to talk to us about that then?
Yes. The book I'm currently writing is to introduce a bit more ritualistic style habits into your life, because once you turn routine into a habit, then you're more likely to stay with it. So it's about how to manifest things in your life, but using fun ways to do so.
Great. And we'll tell you guys where you can buy those books later on. For now, we really wanted to focus on how we could embody and live the Lovetarian way thanks to, or rather helped by, assisted by the forces of nature, right?
Absolutely.
So, of course, she is an expert on working with crystals, and you also work with different energies, fairies,
Yes.
right? And
Yes.
just tell us a little bit about that.
I work with the angels, with the Devic realm, which is obviously the fairies, the unicorns, and Mother Earth herself.
Perfect. So how could we, because I think everybody here is rather empathetic and they can tune into the energies of Mother Earth. They are somewhat turbulent, stormy.
The energies are very turbulent at the moment. Not just over here, it's obviously being shown in the weather, but with how people are feeling. People are very emotional, feeling very vulnerable.
Could you explain to people who are not so familiar with the concept of energy, why would our body be affected by energies?
Because our bodies ourselves are actually made of energy. If we were to get a single cell out of our body and break it down into its smallest component, it would actually be seen as a vibrating mass of energy. And energy is very influenced by what you think, what you feel. So if something traumatic is happening around you, you'll feel it in your body. You might not understand why, but you will feel it in your body. And that's why at the moment people are feeling a little bit wobbly.
So we, in the Lovetarian Way Academy, with our first course, actually, we have launched recently, Live the Lovetarian Way. We are guiding people through what is called 4 pillars of the Lovetarian Way. And pillar 1 is
taking 100% responsibility.
What can we take responsibility for? Really, honestly, it's the energies that we exude. I mean, we cannot control all of life, can we?
We can try, but you would be trying forever.
So I love how Byron Katie, very, very enlightened teacher, she said that there are 3 businesses in the world. It's your business, their business, and God's business. Your business is to take care of your business 24/7 because you don't have any time to take care of other people's business, and you certainly do not want to mess with God's business, which we call Divine Mother or the universe, right? So what we actually encourage our students to do is take 100% responsibility for the energies that they really can control. And isn't that so that it's already 24/7?
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
what could we control? Our thoughts? Well, we can do our best to focus our thoughts.
Yes.
Maybe that's a better word.
Yes, focus your thoughts, and if possible, if you're feeling in a negative mood, to kind of keep the thoughts to yourself and find a way of expressing them, but not at somebody, because when you get angry with somebody, you're actually throwing some really heavy, dense energy at them.
So we actually have the pillar 2 of the Lovetarian Way, which is live by the golden rule. So do not do unto others what you don't want done to yourself, because we are one energy. So if you're going to be a, shall we say, a biatch to somebody else, this is not public TV, so that's all right. And by the way, for you here, we have this beautiful, thanks to my friend Margaret in Africa, I found out that a meaning of a bitch is actually that, babe in total control of herself. It's good, right? Thank you, Margaret. So bitches, then, doing our best to control our energies, to really focus our energies on this beautiful work. Do not do anything to others you don't want done to yourself, because karma is a bitch. Okay, and then we have the third pillar. When we're focusing on the third pillar, is actually all about live as though everything is a miracle. It's like Einstein said, you have 2 ways to look at life. One is everything is a miracle, and the other one,
you're not seeing any miracles.
Exactly. So what do we choose? We choose
definitely like it's a miracle.
Yeah, we have it plastered all over the house. We are in my house right now. We live magic and miracles, and we are not living. Here's the thing that we need the audience to understand. We are not living in a magic land of Disney, okay? We are very much embodying the magic with a K, the actual magic of one's transformation and focus on the light in our body, on this planet, Mother Earth. And by doing the work, taking responsibility, we are increasing, as you said, the energy of our beings, the vibration, right? And Tamsin is going to help us very much with pillar 4, which is the Lovetarian nourishment. The pillar 4 is all about what you can do to raise your frequency, to not be so susceptible, so vulnerable to the energies, the, shall we call them, darker, lower energies of this world, because so it happens, the world happens to be both light and darkness. Please explain.
It's a dual world. You can't have light without darkness. So it's just finding a way of dealing between the two, finding the balance. We all have light and dark inside us, but
we need to
accept our shadow side and not sitting there thinking that we're pure light and we have nothing wrong with us, because we all do.
And this is something that we really want to make it very clear, which we are teaching students very, very consciously, that it's not that it is something is evil or something is good, that it's, horrible or negative or positive. It's just quantum physics in that sense, that it's a plus and it's a minus force. It's those polarities, and it's up to you to give a meaning to it. I mean, we're very clear here. We are light workers. We have chosen alliance with the goodness, with positivity, with all of that. This is our choice. However, we are very aware that we have the dark side of us, and that is absolutely the most natural thing. So you can't fake positivity, can you? You need to be able to, please.
You can't fake it to other people, but if you're feeling in a down mood, if you actually smile to yourself, whether you're feeling like you're smiling inside or not, the actual physical act of smiling does release endorphins, which makes you feel better.
That's why we teach you oftentimes about laughter therapy.
Oh, that's wonderful.
It's wonderful, yes. Right? And she has children. You have children also.
Yeah.
Cecile has children, and they are how old now?
They're 5 and they're 7. And often when I play with them and we have games, or even when I'm cooking, I can hear them from my kitchen in their own room. They're laughing. And that reminds me always of, I want to laugh more. They laugh hundreds of times during the day. I maybe 50 times during the day. And that reminds me, it's a beautiful reminder to laugh more, because when I laugh more, it gives me
exactly.
endorphins,
100%. So we will actually talk about what your expertise is, crystals, how that can help nourish ourselves. And when I say nourishment, I don't mean food, because ultimate nourishment, it is the light energy, the breath, which connects us with life, and we can work with earth energies, correct?
Yes.
To nourish ourselves.
Yes.
So in fact, maybe audience is familiar with breatharians, that they don't actually eat any food.
No, no.
So,
They just drink in the light.
exactly. So you can actually transmute the energy and source out of the energy of the field and take what you need, all the elements, right? All the vitamins.
Absolutely.
Could you tell a little bit about that?
Yeah. It's about nourishing yourself, which things are going to help the body rather than hinder. I mean, there is lots of things out there that taste really nice, but they're not necessarily good for us.
Exactly. So it all comes down to focusing what it is that you want in your life, what it is that you're going to choose, because ultimately your responsibility is your choice to
Yes.
go for X thoughts, X feelings, what you want to, how you want to vibrate. Do you want to align with those higher frequencies, or do you want to align with the lower frequencies? And as we said, it's not about judgment, because who judges? Ego judges. That's the concept, human 3D reality. Our divine mother or the universe source, she just is, and she just loves you unconditionally. So who is judging? You're judging yourself.
Yes.
Again, we are not pro, as we said, golden rule, we're not pro any evil behavior. No, this is not the space for this kind of thing. Not at all.
No.
We don't judge. We understand everybody has their demons, shall we call them that?
Yeah.
But they are not actual devils, running around.
No.
How would you describe it? What would your definition be of those? Well, we call them darkies. How do you see them? Because you can see.
Everybody's at a different level. Some people have learned to think in more positive terms because maybe they've chosen a lifetime where they've had it a lot easier than some people. But the funny thing is that people that are more spiritual have usually experienced quite traumatic life to start with. And we've had to learn the hard way that, fight our way through our own demons in order to see the light and then help others.
And then we have this understanding, really visceral understanding, if you will, that it is an energy to deal with. It's not an entity per se. Of course, there will be entities. Fine, like we are, I am a person, she is a person, she's a person. So there might be people that have, they're infused with frequencies that are not so loving, shall we say. But they all have an opportunity, especially in the dawning golden age of miracles. We all have a possibility to heal all wounds in this lifetime if we do the work.
Coming back to pillar one.
Responsibility. And on that note, actually, on entities, somebody, Jayesh, if I'm spelling it incorrectly, please forgive me. Can I get a message from loved one, please? I understand it's coming because we mentioned that you are a psychic medium. So what would you say to him? Could he connect with his loved ones?
You can. Anybody can connect. It is a question of sitting quietly possibly in nature is the best place to do it. Sit quietly and have a conversation with them. You may feel a little bit silly when you first do it because you'll be thinking, I'm not talking to anybody here. People may think I'm a little bit crazy, but they can absolutely hear you. Even if you don't necessarily hear or feel anything the first time you do it, the more you persevere, you will start to feel maybe a more loving sensation around you. You may even feel as if someone's tickled your ear or touched some hair on your head, and you'll brush it off as being nothing, but in actual fact, it will be a loved one coming forward and just showing you that they are around you.
And we have been also conditioned in our society to outsource again or give away our power. So therefore, the natural question would be, could you help me connect with my loved ones who passed on, I believe, right? However, everybody must understand here that you are connected with your creator. You are connected with everything that exists. And it's like you can liken it to a radio that can tune in to different frequencies. And how do we tune in?
It's just more practice. You have to have belief in yourself. You have to sit quietly and Keep practicing.
We say, Cecile, like those who believe in magic will see it.
We'll see it.
So,
100%. In the beginning, for example, coming back to this, when my grandfather passed away, I had a very strong connection with him. The evening that I saw him for the last time, with his look, I knew he was saying goodbye. Then we planted this tree out of respect for him and remembrance of him. And indeed, in the beginning, nothing, but I kept standing on the grass, barefoot, touching the tree, talking to the tree. In the beginning, I thought, wind, meh. And then I was like, after multiple times, like,
Yes.
There's only wind on this tree, not in the rest of the garden. And then I thought, see, I do have a connection. I am open to this. I'm receiving. And yes, like Tamsin, like you say, practice.
Yeah, it is. It's practice and believing that you have the ability to do it. We're all born with the ability.
So why she is a psychic medium is because she had developed or accepted that talent, that awareness very early on. And we all have different talents. So it happens that she was so-called activated and aware of her talents, and she developed them because people, it's about responsibility and doing the work. Yes, we all given talents. At the end of the day, you need to do the work and what it takes for you to grow those talents.
Definitely.
Right?
Definitely.
Yeah. So to answer your question, yes, you can get a message from your loved ones if you are willing to accept that you can do it. You can. And as nice as it is to go to a psychic, we need to also say something that as fantastic as psychics are, and occasionally I would use someone when I'm just not so tuned in myself. Ultimately, the psychic, you don't know who they are, where they come from. So you want to find somebody who is truly authentic.
Yes, authentic and sympathetic.
Yeah, because also it is true that everything is connected. The field of energy is connected, and if person will give you a message, there might also be echoes of other energies there. So you need to be really calibrated, aren't you? Right? So it's a certain level of training to be a psychic professionally, I would say, right?
Yes. And actually, I'll just clarify, a psychic is someone that can connect to the universal energies and can see things that are meant for the other person to be doing. They have kind of pictures of the future. A medium is someone that will connect with spirit. So they are two slightly different things. I am both, but sometimes you'll have someone that's only a psychic, which would be someone that you could go to get some guidance about what's happening in your life. Or you have a medium who only talks to someone that's passed to the spirit world. So they kind of are two different things.
Mm-hmm.
I, to be honest, do more psychic work than mediumship, because everybody can talk to somebody that's passed away.
And that is something that we really want you to take into heart. If you really want to, because you're grieving or you haven't accepted the decision of that soul to pass on, because we need to also say that we leave when we are ready to leave.
Oh, definitely.
It's not an accident that somebody dies. The energy chooses to leave this vessel and decides to have another adventure. Is that so?
It's like here, we're at school.
At school.
Yeah, at school.
This is one long learning experience. And when we've learned all the lessons that we need to learn here, we get to go home.
That's
so
right.
Where our loved ones have gone to is a place of sheer beauty, where they can just rest and chill out and have everything that they ever wanted, and they can relive all their experiences that they've had here.
And one of our mission at the Lovetarian Way is to actually help co-create heaven on earth realities in the here and now. We want to embody the nature of our mother creatrix, of the source, which is that of what she just said, unconditional love.
Yes.
And we can achieve it if enough of us activates our light, if you will, activates our gifts and embraces the love in our hearts, we are increasing the frequency of our planet.
Definitely.
Right?
Yeah.
That's
So-
what this is about. It's moving into the higher dimensions.
Exactly. And it's not some parallel planet that is going to be created, physical planet. It's the
Yeah.
frequency. It's the frequency that we are all increasing by, first of all, taking responsibility for your business, of your energies. So do you watch the news still that are really a feeding ground for fear?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a simple
Definitely.
questions. What else would you say? What advice shall we give to people to consider what to increase their frequencies?
To think positively. It doesn't matter how many things are going wrong in your life, you can always be grateful for something. So a really good exercise is to every day write down 5 things you're grateful for.
Simple
Yeah.
as that. Really, it is as simple. Like for us, for example, I wake up first thing in the morning and first thought, there will be a lot of thoughts, don't get me wrong, but I'm choosing to say thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, and I am choosing to have a great day. I'm choosing to do my best to focus on the light and the love and seeing miracles everywhere. And it's, some people will call it Disney airy fairy. You really pay attention what you are saying, because we create with love, light, the sound. Everything that you're saying is an affirmation, and it shall become the behavioral pattern that you will exhibit, and you will create life accordingly. We have a formula in the school called the algorithm of co-creation, where we actually teach you how to align with this and truly understand that no, you don't just say stuff. I mean, you can, but everything matters. Doesn't
It does,
Yeah.
because what you say and what you think is in itself an energy.
Everything is energy. If you can think of life in terms of energy, you will never ever think a bad thought twice. If you knew how powerful your thoughts were,
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
and if those thoughts get empowered by energy of emotion, they will get in motion, energy in motion, and the creative process will start. And if you think it long enough,
Yeah.
often enough, you will start exuding, shall we say, or vibrating at certain frequency that is predominant frequency for you. Correct?
It's because when you think things in a positive vein, you will attract other positive, like-minded energy to you. So you'll attract more people to you.
It's the same. Sorry, it's the same when you wake up, and you wake up in a negative state. You often attract everything that will go wrong that day, and it's like this and this. But if you
Absolutely.
wake up and you choose gratitude, and you choose to, I prefer every morning to say thank you. I'm grateful for the gift of another day of life, and I do my mantras. I do my whole ritual, and that lifts up my energy so much that during the day I see magic. I don't see. I choose not to see no magic.
Yes.
Well, here's something that I want to say, because we often, or people use without really consciously fully grasping the concept of attraction versus mirroring or reflection, because we teach in the academy that all is one energy. So if you, I don't know if you agree with that, we deeply believe that if you say you attract something, that means that it is separate out of you, separate from you. But if you reflect back to you, like as if you were looking in the mirror, you look in the mirror, so in essence you are the creator of your life, and you're looking in the mirror, and then you will see what you're vibrating, so to speak.
Yes.
Does it make sense?
Yes.
So we prefer actually that word, because a lot of people say to me, if you maybe have the same thing, oh well, if my thoughts are attracting things, why do I get all this poop in my life? Why? And then we tell them that in fact it was not per se attraction. You were maybe focused on certain frequencies for too long, and it came to your attention as a material thing. Do you see what I mean?
Yes. Yeah.
So it's like this is maybe too deep to go into right now. If you would like to explore that deeply, then we invite you to our upcoming 4-week June virtual workshop, where we really work deeply with those concepts, and they really will liberate you, because you will You will step from the world of separation, where it is you and the person, into the world of oneness, one energy, where you will all of a sudden maybe have a deep understanding that you actually are all that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
You know?
that's the biggest milestone, I think, for people to realise that we
Yes.
all are one.
A lot of people say it.
It's
all
yeah,
the
but they
time.
don't actually realise how deeply that goes, what it actually means.
What does it mean to you? How would you explain to someone who's completely clueless and actually to embody that concept?
The easiest way for me to explain is if you imagine that you are a blob of energy, but you have to realise that everything else on the planet is a blob of energy, including the planet itself. Everything is energy. So if you think of everything as being energy, then we have no boundaries. We just blend into each other. So if we're in a bad mood, so if I say, for example, I was in a really bad mood now, I would be spreading it on to Natalie and Cecile. They would both be picking up on my mood because there's no physical barrier between us. So all my negativity would just be expanding outwards and infecting everybody else. So when we take responsibility for ourselves and live life as it's one big miracle, then we're actually giving out positivity to every single other person on the planet. So it's quite a big thing to be doing.
Exactly. Yeah. And also, isn't it so, like, when you take a knob of the radio and you tune into certain frequency, you cannot hear, let's say, for example, 80.5 if you are vibrating at 100.
Exactly.
Yeah. So let's say somebody is negative, but you are at 100 and they are at 70. You will not be affected.
No.
Because you are there. In fact, and that's what we also teach, you can take them up. You can shine your light and your joy and enthusiasm and love so brightly that you will give them, as Marianne Williamson said, permission to shine their light.
Yes.
So if anything, our job as light workers, as people who are really working to increase the frequency of the planet, is to spread our light. And we encourage everybody to do the same.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And now we have been talking a little bit about general stuff, and we would definitely like this beautiful lady to tell us about the tools, maybe more digestible for the people who are not getting it. Like if you grab it in your hand, which means that it has a denser frequency, because you can actually grab it, while thoughts and feelings, you don't see them. But if you are a psychic, you actually could tune in with your intuition, right? And you will... So it's about psychic development, and everybody can be a psychic if you take responsibility and do the work, find the right course, magnetize the right teacher.
And a lot of people pick things up psychically without even being aware of it.
And they keep denying it because they say, oh, it didn't happen, it's not true. They don't want to follow their intuition, their gut, because it's often uncomfortable.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yes.
Intuition, people, is tuition from within, and it never fails.
No,
but you need to be willing to listen. Right?
I mean, most people can walk into a room, and if someone's had a major argument in a room, you'll walk in and you'll be like,
iffy.
Yeah.
You'll feel it. However undeveloped as a psychic you are, anybody will walk into a room, and if there's been a big argument in that room, you will immediately feel it.
Exactly.
And that is your intuition telling you. It's because you're picking up on the energy that's left in the room. When your loved one walks in from work, they don't even need to say a word from you. You can tell from their energy if they've had a good or a bad day. Again, it's not because you've known them for years. It's because you immediately pick up on their energy. So it's a very good way to start on a basic level is to be more aware.
Basically, don't doubt your ability, because you have it. You have it. You need to, first of all, accept that you have it, right? Be willing to receive it and develop it.
Yes.
Trust is the biggest one, I would say, is when you feel something in your body, trust it, because that is your intuition.
And your body is a blueprint of all those energy fields that we've been talking about, your thoughts, your feelings, and through time and space, through generations. So if you have pain in your shoulders, Does it tell you something?
Absolutely. It's quite interesting, actually. Different pains in the body reflect different things that are going on in your mind. And they can be very simple, such as if you wake up one morning with a pain in your neck, you need to ask yourself, who is being a pain in the neck to you? And quite often it can be yourself. Trust me, it can be you being a pain in the neck to yourself. So again, it is a very interesting. The body always tells us, but we don't always
We don't
that
tune in.
we don't make that
Exactly.
association.
Yeah.
Talking about the frequencies that we're talking about and a lot of low frequencies in the field, isn't it so also that a lot of people need to do a bit of cleaning and clearing process, a little
Yes.
detoxing of their bodies before they can even trust the body? Because now we're talking about, people that are taking care of themselves. They eat organic, they eat healthy, they eat good things, whole foods. They nourish their minds with maybe a little yoga, a little meditation, a little movement, beautiful thoughts and feelings. However, if you're a, shall we call whomever, average Joe that lives in the 3D reality, he eats processed foods. He puts news first thing in the morning that are bombarding your entire energy system with lots of fear and negativity. Grab a coffee, get your cortisol stress hormone all the way through the roof. Maybe a lot of activity will happen in your house and you're set for failure. Do you have time to listen to your body, or will you ever even acknowledge that your body is telling you something?
The thing is, the more you raise your frequency, the frequency of light in your body, the more you automatically start to reject the things that don't resonate with you anymore.
And that brings us to the ultimate definition of self-love. Self-love, as nice as it is, girls, boys, to do all sorts of cool things, take time for yourself, have some wine, have whatever. Ultimately, it is about saying no to all those bad habits that are lowering our frequencies, bad habits, bad thoughts, people, toxicity of any kind, and being truly loving and kind, nourishing to this temple of your being, right? And of course, to you who are super advanced and have been doing this work for a long time, you're vibrating so high that you can have a bottle of wine and it's all good. It's not a problem. Everything is for the people, as the saying goes. So it's all for us, okay? Everything is for us. The question is, how do you handle it right now? Because the power that you have is right now. Are you ready for certain things? Can you handle it, right? Can you handle the truth?
The thing is a little bit more, can you handle the energy?
Exactly. And so then, I know I'm starting the third time, so now this time I actually get there. Could you tell us about the tools that we can use that are, tangible?
Crystals are really great for working with because you don't actually have to do much with them. Like you can see, I am wearing various crystals.
Yes.
And I wear crystals every day because they help maintain my energy levels. You can wear crystals for protection against negativity. You can use crystals in your work because a lot of people are possibly in a situation where they work, they are bombarded by negative people. And that is a big one that a lot of my clients have. So one of the best things that you can do if you are living in or working in a negative office environment is to get what's called a geode. Now I'm showing you a geode here, and it's basically like stone on the outside and the crystals are on the inside. Now geodes work fantastically because they actually absorb negative energy around you. They go into the crystal geode itself. It's then transmuted and transformed into positive energy.
How lovely.
And it
Wow.
sends it back out to your workspace. So those are really, really good crystals to have. I've got loads around my house, not because I have the negativity there, but I just really love them. So they naturally cleanse the
What is it
air.
about crystals? What are they made of? I mean, if we have basic people here who have no idea, I mean,
the crystal
beginners.
Yes.
I'm sorry, not basic beginners here. It's like, what is a crystal?
A crystal is basically a blob of energy.
Oh, she said it. It's a blob of energy that happens to be dense. So it's like a stone.
It's different types of minerals that
Minerals
grow
yes.
naturally in the ground. They resonate with the human body because a lot of their frequencies are very similar to the human body.
So it's another way of saying that those are like helpers from Mother Nature to help
Yes.
heal ourselves
Yes.
and because again, healers out there, they don't necessarily heal you, they facilitate a space for your natural healing abilities.
We assist the person's body to heal itself.
So you're like a guide, right? Yeah. Like in a sense.
We channel energy. We're like a hollow piece of bamboo.
Like a flute through which the music flows.
That's a lovely way of putting it.
It's roomy. It's not me. I love
Absolutely.
that quote. Yes.
Yeah, we will channel energy from the universe, which channels down through us, and we have the ability to channel it into who needs the healing.
All right. So I gave all my assistants, workers, whatever, whomever I meet, people that I think I gave you one too. This is quartz, rose quartz, to keep on your heart. Can you tell us a little bit about it? And it can come in different shapes. I have a heart because I love a heart. She's got a big one. Yes. Exactly.
Rose quartz is one of the most beautiful love stones.
So for Lovetarians, get a love stone.
And the great thing about rose quartz is it's very, very affordable.
Okay.
You can get love quartz just about anywhere that sells crystals. And the really good thing is that you will never get a fake rose quartz because they are so cheap to buy.
Okay.
They will not be faked because unfortunately at the moment, crystals have been such a huge push on crystals that everybody's gone completely mad about them. There are a lot of fake crystals around now.
And what will it help us with?
This is a heart stone. So it's really, really good for helping draw in the loving energies to yourself and helping you love yourself, because that's another big thing that people have is they forget to love themselves. They're so busy concentrating on making everybody else happy that they forget about themselves.
Maybe it's a good moment, actually, if you could tell us, Tamsin, explain. Well, there are lots of energy centers in our body, but we know. Let's sum them up to 7.
Yes.
So could you run us through chakras and then say which stones could actually, and what does it even mean? Because I don't know. We'll have people with different levels of knowledge here. Like a one-on-one. What do you call it?
A chakra is basically an energy center. It's an energy center that will draw in universal energies and put them into the body so that they then will be taken around the body and help the different areas of the body function properly. That's the easiest way to explain it.
And each is responsible for something else, yes?
The chakras themselves work with the endocrine glands. Now, the endocrine glands are a series of ductless glands which secrete hormones, and hormones basically control the whole body.
Yeah. You know how it is to get hormonal, you know, it's...
Yes.
Especially for goddesses.
Yes, goddesses, or rather guys told us that we need to deal with our hormones, but we know guys, they also have hormonal issues. So the key is to balance. And how do we balance with, of course, you know, good food, good thoughts, that comes without saying. But with crystals, how could we balance?
We can balance with crystals as well. The first chakra, red stones, black stones, brown stones are very good to help balance this. The first chakra is the money center. So that in most people is
survival.
It's our survival mode, and it can quite often be out of balance. It's quite normal in this day and age for it to be out of balance because everybody lives the fight or flight syndrome. Whereas in the way back to when evolution began,
not materialistic so much.
Yeah. We needed that. So, like I say, black, red, brown crystals are really good for the base chakra.
Do you have some examples here?
This is smoky quartz. That would be a good one. This is an agate. Agates are good. There are a variety of different sort of red coloured.
Selenite, is it for grounding also? Selenite.
Selenite is more for protection and cleansing.
Okay.
Crystals come in different frequencies as well. And selenite, or satin spar, which is this one actually, is a satin spar. It's a type of selenite. This is what we would call a very, very high frequency stone. If you're drawn to selenite, it means that you're working on the slightly higher levels.
Well, the Lovetarian Academy people, we the white witches.
Well, in our upstairs, in our space where we always do the lives, we have the lamps.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
You gave me lamps.
Selenite lamps. Yeah,
yes.
because you can also have crystals in the form of
Yes,
light.
Yeah,
we have Himalayan all over this house. Because, you know, normally we would broadcast from the studio, which is on the top level, which look at how you've been to this house, how incredibly it is shaped. We have 3 levels here. The bottom is the womb, creative womb. It's that grounding space. Here we have the solar plexus. We've got this ego, you know, a lot of creativity, lots of things is happening. And then we go to the top floor where we've got the connection, right? You've got the antenna, you've got the crown chakra, you've got the third eye, right, where we broadcast. We decided to meet here in this level today because, you know, 3 ladies, we wanted to be, you know, on a solid middle floor here. And it's working very well with the space. But I have all over the house Himalayan salt lamps that help to.
They give out negative ions.
Well, something that will balance all the frequencies from Wi-Fi and
they cleanse the atmosphere.
Yes, and the same with selenite lamps. They really help us
do
our work when we're broadcasting.
Yeah, they are very good as a protective selenite.
Because remember, boys and girls, when you are working with the light, the more light, the darkness follows. And it's not a bad thing. It's just nature.
Yeah.
So, therefore, we need a lot of, as much help as we can get to focus our energies on what it is that we want to co-create in this lifetime.
Absolutely.
So what else have we got here?
The second chakra, the base chakra is at the base of the groin, the base of the spinal column. The next one is roughly around the belly button. This is the sacral. This is our sexual chakra. It's who we are as a person. And any orange coloured crystals are really good for here. The next one we come up is the solar plexus. This is our stress chakra. This is where we feel it. If we have stress going in our life, or if we're not being creative, in the stomach, right? Yes, we feel it here. And this is, any yellow crystals are really good for this area. Interestingly, these 3 chakras are very much low frequency chakras. They deal with the more materialistic side of life. Then we come to the love center, which is the heart. We can, on the heart center, have pink or green, or you can use both. For me, the more crystals, the better. Self-love is rose quartz. You can't get a better one than rose quartz. A good green chakra is green aventurine. If you kind of draw more towards green chakras, it means that you are healing your heart center. If you're drawn to the pink crystals, then it means that you are drawing more love into your life.
So then maybe we have some people we're working with, I'm thinking now, and they have been very hurt. They had a lot of pain and wounding, very horrible actually situations. So to heal their heart, rose quartz, to heal the heart and open the heart and forgive. Forgive, right?
Absolutely. Is that also a good one for when you lose people very dear to you as well, the rose quartz?
It is
to heal.
It's actually there is a very specific crystal for grief, and that is amethyst.
Amethyst.
Okay.
And that's because amethyst is connected to the crown chakra, which is the spiritual chakra. And amethyst helps you understand that even though the person's not there, you haven't lost them, that you're always connected to them.
And you can, as we said, communicate
You
with
can
them.
communicate with them. But
Sometimes, we had a discussion that sometimes for certain people that had they were not what we call awakened, they were not really connected with their inner power and the light, they were very difficult humans in this lifetime, they decided not to wake up to their power. It might be actually easier to communicate with them once they moved on, right?
sometimes it can be,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So we would like to encourage you to really practice and embrace, because
Because when somebody dies, you have to imagine it's like they've just taken their coat off.
they moved on. They changed the form of energy. They express
They're just gone
themselves.
from one energetic level to another one, but they're still there, and they can still see you and still tell you off.
They can. But also we need to understand that each soul has its purpose, and honestly, they've got stuff to do too.
Yes.
So you need to be able to love them and let them go. I mean, deal with the business, get your closure, and take care of yourself.
It is, and if you have unresolved issues with somebody that's passed on, don't think that you can't resolve those issues, because you can. You can still talk to them, and you can still write them a letter. Write them a letter and set fire to it.
So I'm speaking to a person who knows I'm speaking to right now, who has recently lost her father, who was, shall we call him, again, not a public television, a pastor and a horrible person. And she was not able to reconcile. And then he died or left. He moved on, right? And she just had this feeling, he was not feeling good, right? She never made peace, or rather, she actually wanted to punish him, and she wanted to get her revenge. And we had to work through this and helped her understand that's not exactly what this is all about.
No.
At the end of
People
the day,
if you're in a situation where someone shows you extremes of behavior, you have to understand that your soul has asked for that. And as difficult as that is to accept, everything that happens to us, we have asked as a soul to experience it.
I have numerous times recommended beautiful books to our students, but I encourage you once more to get, for example, Robert Schwartz books, Your Soul's Plan, Your Soul Gift, Dr. Weiss's or Newton, really amazing books. Or Anita Morgiani, Dying to Be Me, how it is in spirit, really. Why are we here? What is our purpose? Is there a plan? Or, other accidents even. Why would we want to experience horrible things in this lifetime? It really helps to reconcile. You can accept that, yes, you have co-created this, your destiny, you have planned it, and it's all good. It all happens for you. And don't get us wrong here. We have all had our share of trauma and heartbreaks and what normal person, because we're not normal apparently,
No.
what an unawakened human would call, accidents. We know that if you would manifest cancer, there is a reason for it. If you would have an accident, there is a reason for it. What is this teaching you? What is the teaching moment? What do you need to look at better and deeper, right?
You have to look at the lesson it's trying to show you, because sometimes it's a lesson.
And that comes to pillar 3 of the Lovetarian Way. Is everything a miracle? Can you see a miracle? Are you ready to see the gift that this situation brings to you? And I do understand, girls. I mean, I'm temperamental. I'm a dragon fire lady and an Aries. So sometimes I just want to say, oh. But shortly, very shortly, it's like you said, I am grateful. I say like this. I am thankful for the blessings that are in this gift. I am thankful already, and I really pray that I see it very shortly. And believe me, I am seeing it very shortly, because I have chosen to believe that everything happens for me. My life happens for me. There is a lesson. There is evolution of my consciousness, and I can ride this baby.
Absolutely. You have to look for the lesson. And sometimes, that can be hard.
Oh, can be hard. I mean,
yes.
Cecile doesn't get to speak much. Do you want to tell us about some lessons?
No, but it's like a confirmation. The lessons I've had in my life up until now were very hard, unpleasant, unkind. But I'm so grateful for them because it brought me to the person who I am now. And now I see the miracles of them.
Well, she is the chief Lovetarian of this movement. I mean, that girl, I have been working with her for years, and how she had evolved her consciousness.
Yes.
Because we all start at 0 point. Like, you drop down here, you are a baby, and you're like, what is that all about? You know, and you forget. I mean, there are people who actually come to be, and they are fully awakened. They are very activated. But those are the rare between us. Most of us are just like total amnesia. Like, so what? I am the suit. I am the human, and that's how I'm going to roll. And then, if you had chosen previous to this incarnation, shall we call it, to awaken, you will start remembering. There will be little reminders. There will be feelings. There will be this intuition talking to you. There will be friends that are popping into your life. But then you need to, again, take responsibility and say, okay, I'm willing to accept it, because we are not like those. We can just choose to say, oh, like, you know, the flow and whatever happens, happens. But you actually were given a free will to choose. So you can do whatever you want in this life.
You can.
You can.
But
you
have to do. It's important, you have to do.
And also, like, being a very fiery, temperamental person, especially, well, a few years ago, even up until to that moment, now I've learned how to channel that fire into passion, creativity, projects. But previous to that, it was like, what the F this is happening? Now I'm like, how the F this is happening for me? What an evolution. But the point is that, you know, we have a plan as a soul. Apparently, though, now we have an incredible opportunity in this lifetime, I'm hearing, in the spiritual world, that we can, all the contracts are being canceled, the previous ones, that we can really heal all the wounds. We can heal all the wounding. We can create magic and miracles. We can create heaven on earth. We can do it in one lifetime, which is unprecedented.
Yes. It has never, ever happened before.
Exactly.
We are actually an experiment that they're doing it here.
Yeah. And who are the they, according to you? We don't need to, like, guys, this is the truth. This is not some, you know, crazy stuff.
We're not the only ones that exist in this universe and in other universes. There are other planets.
What a waste of energy would that be if humans were the only ones, huh?
But to be honest, this planet is, or was, quite a low density planet compared to some of the planets up there. Which is why the planet herself has chosen to ascend. She wanted to move from the 3D dimension of heavy energy, everything being materialistic. She's actually moved up to the 5D, and it means that we have to move with her.
Exactly, because she's going anyway.
Yeah, yeah, because she's the primary.
That's right. It's our Mother Earth, right?
Yeah, she can survive. If we were wiped off the face of the planet, she would still survive.
That's why
that's why we have to make the effort to move alongside her, because this is her land. We're just invited.
We are just visitors.
Yeah.
This is something I really want to say. You know, one of our principles in the Lovetarian Way movement is, like, we focus on, for example, eating mainly plant-based nutrition. And why do we do that? Because we actually believe, maybe you believe, may not be, we believe that animals are our friends. So we don't want to eat them because we treat them as our friends. Of course, sometimes your body might have the need, and there actually, in ancient times, there was an agreement between a hunter and an animal. And animal would tell you, okay, I'm ready. You can eat of my flesh, use my, you know, skin for your clothing. But what has happened in this insane time on planet Earth, when the density was really, or still is, a little bit thick and fear-based and materialistic, all of a sudden somebody had an idea. Let's have for example, meat industry. Yes. How does that sound to you? To enslave the animals like that? Oh, that just doesn't sit with me. If you have your own chickens and you have fun with your chickens, you know, and then there's a communication, that's one thing. If you are a hunter, not for sports, but natives, for example, right? They had an agreement with animals. that's a different story. Or you catch wild fish that, there's a natural rebirth. If we don't abuse Mother Earth, that's something that barely does not exist on this planet and needs to really come back to balance. We have abused our friends, animals, and we have been doing atrocities basically on animals.
And it's been done for greed.
Exactly. Exploration, greed, profit, right? And here's the thing. Now it's the time for you to choose what kind of alliance you want to choose. Do you want to nourish? Do you want to destroy? If you want to destroy, by all means, but destroy all the negative stuff within your being.
Yes.
Yeah, because we are creatrixes and destruct. What is the female for destroyer? Destructrix? A woman who destroys.
Yeah.
You can destroy all those, or transmute, shall we say, because energy in essence cannot be destroyed or created. It just is. So you transmute all the lower frequencies, all the lower vibes, and you take them up.
Positivity.
Exactly. Positivity, light, lightness. So you become in essence more light body.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And when you do that, you will move on with our beautiful Mother Earth. But if you're not going to do it, I like to say it to people, I don't know if you agree with this, those that they just say, oh, I'm the master of this planet and I can eat whatever I want, the animals or whatever. I'm like, okay, well, that's awesome, because there's those beings that are highly developed, more highly developed than humans, and they treat you just like you treat those cows in the camps, right? You are, in essence, a sheep. I mean, you need to have respect for all life. That's what I'm saying.
You do.
You need to revere, respect, and honor the gifts that Mother Earth has given us. And that is all her children, animals, plants. If you can have this marvelous reverence for life and gratitude, you are increasing your frequencies. And then you could be eating animals if you want, but it's not going to be in the sense of, I'm just going to do it because it's my right. Yes, I'm the master and I can treat them like poop. Do you know what I mean?
It's, if you want to, you can be a spiritual person and still eat meat and still eat fish and still drink. As long as it's obviously drinking not to excess.
Yes.
But it's about buying the best quality that you can. If possible, organic, or if you have your own animals that you rear.
And also really express your gratitude. I always, if I would eat fish, I have not been eating meat since 2012, but if I would have fish sometimes, I show such gratitude for that life that has been given to nourish me.
Yes.
And then my body receives it in a really beautiful way, as opposed to if I just stuff my face with processed food, whether it's animal based or it's not, it's the frequency. All processed food has really low frequency.
Very low.
It's a frequency that will just destroy your body.
Yeah,
if you allow it.
Because it won't resonate with your body, and that's why.
It's not food. It's food.
It's
food-like. Food-like. Yes, this is a plastic that tastes good and has an addictive. You talked about hormones. It hijacks your hormones, literally, and it starts your body start acting crazy, and then you can't listen to a body like that.
No, and it's actually been shown that the young generations of children coming through now that are eating a lot of meat and fish, they're actually starting puberty so much earlier. You've got 6 and 7-year-olds starting puberty because of the amount of hormones within the food that they're consuming unknowingly, which is affecting them.
So listen to the healer who is really connected into our beautiful Mother Earth, and listen to her advice how to be the most awakened, cheerful, joyful, healthy person, because health is your first wealth. If you take care of your beautiful body, you can think better, you feel better. And the opposite is true. If you have loving thoughts and feelings, your body will feel better, because ultimately, yes, food is very important, but our ultimate nourishment is what?
Love.
It's love. That's the Lovetarian way, right? Love for yourself first, because as Cecile says, we like that story on the airplane.
Yes. What do you do on an airplane? Do you give your children a mask first, or do you take it yourself first? I would personally take it myself first, because then I can help other people.
So if you don't have oxygen, you
I don't.
help.
I can't help.
Exactly.
So think about it this way, right?
Exactly.
You're going to be amazing for your children, for your community, for the people around you, for your business, for everything. If you nourish your body, your thoughts, your feelings, your actual body, use beautiful crystals. We'll talk a little bit to end up maybe about, you have other tools at your disposal, maybe cards, signs, secret geometry. We will continue this. There will be another one.
Yes, definitely.
Just like a few tips to increase the frequency. Like, if you could say 3 things, I already said 3, so you say 3 more. So mind your thoughts, consciously choose positivity, focus on the light, love, and nourishment, right? Of all sorts. Stop watching news. That's like comes without saying. Breathe. Breath is your connection to life. It's like you can do without food, you can do without a lot of things, but you stop breathing, you're done.
Yes.
Few minutes without breath, and bye-bye, adios, I'm leaving. So breath, number 1, actually, nourishment is breath. The breath of love, breath of light, breath of life. That is it. Then we have those frequencies that are not visible, the thoughts, the feelings. They actually translate into your body and they program your body, and you will be then as that radio, right? You will be picking up the frequencies that you're attuned to. So if you want to have a life of magic and miracles, the Lovetarian way, what do you want to tune into? Oh, joy, gratitude, right? Also, people don't think about basic things. Yeah, you don't need to be like running like a crazy rabbit all the time, super happy. But if you could just be neutral, and, just be at peace at this like 0 level, as we call it, calibrate yourself there. If you can't just be positive, I understand sometimes it might be difficult. Just do your best not to just drop into those low frequencies. Just be first, and that can be helped when you're breathing. When you're breathing equal breaths in and out, you can just get to that place of nothing, and then you can work on your light.
Yes.
Then you're like, joy, gratitude. There's always something to be grateful for. I mean, do you still breathe? There's something to be grateful for.
Do you still see? Do you still hear? Do you still touch? Do you still taste?
Do you have internet? Apparently you do, because you're here, so you're rich. Do you know how many people don't even have access to that?
Yeah.
Do you have roof over your head? Do you have water? Do you have food? Do you have someone that loves you? Do you love yourself, right? So I probably, as always, said more than 3 things. So now, Tamsin, the 3 tangible things to be the best Lovetarian that you can be and help Mother Earth. And actually, Mother Earth, in all honesty, she doesn't really need our help because she's going to do it anyway.
Do it anyway.
So we need to do the work.
It's how we need to show more respect to each other.
Exactly.
Think about other people, because if you think about other people, then it makes you a happier person. You might not see it straight away, but if you actually start smiling at the person that's really grumpy to you every time you go in the shop, at one point you actually get a smile back, because everybody has something going on in their life. Until you walk through their life in their shoes, you don't know what they're going on in their life. So always be happy to other people. Always don't judge them for being grumpy old cow, because she might have something really heavy going on in her life that she's just struggling to get through. So shine a little bit of light. Just smile at someone, and you will lift somebody's day.
So if you could tell people, to each person, if they could buy 3 stones for today, for frequencies of today to rise.
Right.
So what would that be? And they're affordable, yeah?
Yeah, clear quartz, widely available, very, very, very affordable. It's a master healer. It's a great one because it will cover any chakra, because it's a multi-use stone for chakras. So it's a really, really good one to use.
What is it called again?
Clear quartz.
Clear quartz. Okay.
You can get it in small tumbled style, which would be sort of a little tumble stone like that, but obviously in clear quartz. A very good stone for negativity would be smoky quartz. Again, it's a very cheap one. There are lots of other protective stones, but I'm listing the ones that are readily available and cheap to buy, because not everybody wants to spend up masses on crystals, not until they actually realize how good they are, and then trust me, you won't stop buying them. So smoky quartz, that's a really good one for protection. If you have negative people around you, just sit and hold your quartz, and they do become quite tactile, and you can get to the point where if you're feeling in a grumpy mood, you'll pick up a stone and you'll sit there and just play with it, and it just helps to remove the bad feelings and bad vibes you got around you. And then obviously the other one would have to be rose quartz.
Oh yes, to connect to your true nature, that of love.
It is. They're all. I mean, yeah, they're all quartzes. They're easily available, and like I say, they are very cheap.
Perfect. So that is the stones, and also what is also very available are cards that we could. So maybe 2 minutes on that, how we could each use those to help us navigate.
Yeah, there are various sorts of cards around. There's angel cards. There's tarot cards.
What have you got here?
I actually have 2 sets of oracle cards. These are unicorn cards.
I've got dragons here.
This is shamanic cards. This is connecting in with Mother Earth style cards. And I do have tarot. Cards are a great way to draw a card daily and then just read what it means in the book. I like to buy cards that are very pictorial, that have really pretty pictures, because for me, when I do readings, I don't necessarily use the meanings that are given with the book. I'll draw my own conclusions from the cards itself, but it's a nice way to get to know your cards, is to buy ones that have really pretty pictures on them.
So it is, again, coming back to responsibility. You need to tune into what you magnetized to and really honor that feeling, and don't doubt yourself. And if you, for particular reason like me, a dragon, was drawn to dragon cards, I work greatly with those. And every time I pick a card, the meaning is already in my heart.
Yes.
It's there. And I need to just resonate with that meaning, because isn't it so that there's just so many frequencies that we could tune into, so many options, so many possibilities? Who is going to then decide ultimately and choose what it means? The meaning is actually within you, people.
Yeah.
So if you find all of this meaningful, then we will really continue this conversation. We are booked through months, but we'll invite Tamsin again to talk in more depth in a month or 2 months, depends how we're gonna align.
Yes.
When the stars are aligned, we'll meet again. And in the meantime, how could people buy some of your stuff? Is it on Amazon?
My books are on Amazon and most of the major bookstores, in paperback, but also in digital download ebooks, which are a really great way to
right. So crystal magic and heal your chakras. And also you're writing a 3rd book now,
and
right?
my 3rd one will hopefully be out in a few months.
We will put, of course, a link to contact her, because you also do distance.
I do distant healing, and I do distant readings. Because again, we are all energy, so you don't have to be physically with me.
This is something, this is something that your mind needs to understand, that it's actually not necessary to do that.
No.
Energy can travel through time and space.
Absolutely. I mean, particularly with healings, the only thing I do a lot of distant healing with people across the world, and the only thing I say to them, I will tell you when I'm about to start the healing, and I want you to lie down and relax for that hour.
Exactly.
Until I send you a message saying it's all done.
Yeah, and there are also a lot of modalities of distant healing, and I believe at one point we'll also have another friend of mine. We didn't even contact her yet, but I think she will be okay with that. She's a reconnective healer, and I experienced that healing so many times myself. I was in Poland at that time, now I'm in Spain. She was in Spain at that time, and she would send me the healing. In essence, that means that she would just visualize me, and the energy would do whatever the energy would do. She just focused her energy. She had an intention behind it, and I felt it in Poland. I felt her hands moving on my body.
Yeah,
I felt
you
it.
will do.
And I experienced you also had it.
Yeah.
And you actually can receive it in a beautiful way. It doesn't really matter if you're with the person or not.
No, it doesn't,
In
because I do the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I work on the person as if the person is there.
Yeah.
And they do all report the same thing. And like, even before, I sent them a message saying, so what did you find in my heart centre? Because they've felt the pressure, if you like, on that area. Because we're all energy, we're all connected.
Absolutely, 100%. And well, you need to understand that we interpret our world through our senses, 5 senses, but in fact, the biggest gift that we have is our 6th sense, isn't it? It's our intuition. Yes. And that you don't see that, but it always is there. It's there always. Okay, peeps. Well, thank you so much for being with us today. We went over an hour now. Of course we did. Because, hi, 3 women. Natalia, talking. So we will come back next week, and we will have Jill Harrison, who is an avatara and really highly calibrated, shall we say, medium, or what do you call it? I'll have to ask Jill, but basically when you can heal, when you can connect to anything, anywhere in the universes and galaxies, well, you're like an avatara. That's what it's called. A very highly developed medium. And she also came fully activated when she was a soul. She had those gifts like right away. It was there, and then she needed to do something about it, because if she wouldn't receive that calling or accepted that gift, she would not be very happy. And that's maybe something about that we all have certain gifts and talents that want to be birthed.
Yes.
If we don't align with that, we shall suffer.
Yeah, you will.
Yeah, because it's like our soul keeps calling.
Oh, yes.
Cecile, just one finishing sentence, because we had this discussion earlier today about you always knowing that you are Lovetarian before the word even came to be and was given. How come? To those that are not so connected.
My intuition and listening to my body, being open, taking responsibility. We were always drawn to each other.
Yes.
Back and forth. And we've been friends for so many years. And deep down inside, I knew we were going to do something together. You knew the same. And eventually, all of a sudden,
Which really was not all of a sudden.
No,
right?
it wasn't.
We've been preparing for it. We've been opening up to it.
Yeah. And then if you can say it like...
Yes. The overnight success, as they call it.
Yeah.
Overnight success has decades of preparation, and probably even in previous lifetimes.
We connected. Business-wise as well. And then I started working for the company, the Win-Win-Win marketing company. That actually is the word escaped me.
Overwhelmed.
Yes, really overwhelmed at the moment with so many
She's just overwhelmed with love,
Yes.
There's just so much beautiful. That's what we also need to say, that light is a very intense energy. I mean,
there is lots of very high light going on.
Exactly. And literally, sometimes we have broadcasts when the communication would stop because the frequencies were so intense that people will just be kicked out of the broadcast, and then we'll come back, because you can liken it to like put your finger in a plug. I don't recommend it.
No,
but you will get a taste. You will get a taste. Everything is energy. So you also need to do the work and facilitate, prepare yourself, because you can't just jump on a deep end, so to speak, right?
No.
Because it might be too much for your body to handle. Those are frequencies, and the body that is not, shall we call it, calibrated to 60 degrees will not handle 100.
No.
So it's a school, as Tamsin said, it's a school, it's an evolution, it's a journey. And most of you that are here probably have been preparing for this light work for ages, eons. Eons, for thousands of years.
Yes.
So we are really encouraging you to tune into your inner knowing. Your heart always knows. Use the tools, follow this space, because there's lots of broadcasts that are coming. We have a beautiful group called the Lovetarian Way, where information is freely shared, very high frequency group. So join us, it's free. Contact Tamsin, her books are available all over. You can work with her in many, many different ways. whatever way will be best for you, right? We will list her website or contact, whatever you want to give us, we will list that. You know, this is a birthing of the movement. Lovetarian Way movement is just birthing. We have incredible development and plan already in place. It's just a marathon, right? So we have already launched a workshop. There will be more workshops. We want to invite you to the academy to become shall we call them activated Lovetarians? People who are willing to shine their light and really are willing to elevate their consciousness and contribute to the benefit of all, because if you benefit, we benefit, everybody benefits. So this is our mission, to help all of us experience magic and miracles, and it actually is possible.
Definitely.
Yeah. So tune in. Stay tuned. We're going to be bombarding you coming from different directions, because you know it's going to get more and more intense. YouTube, Facebook, other social media, and you know, considering that people are watching all sorts of poop all over the space, you really want to tune into that space and such spaces, because a lot of light workers are doing such beautiful work to help you feel good and embrace your light.
Absolutely.
So we're going to wrap this up now, girls. Thank you so much. Hugs are also very Lovetarian.
Definitely.
Let's do a group hug. Thank you. We love you from our heart to yours. Stay tuned. We'll be back next week. Thank you very much. Perfect. Yeah.